Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.radio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
It is Coffee Ann time on ON, AM, and FM, Friday morning, July 11th in the year 2023. I'm Joe Callahan. Thanks for joining us on the Coffee Ann program. Dave Richards is with us. Hello there, Dave.
Well, what do you know, Joe?
You're right over there, so very good. And
I don't know. What did he say? I wasn't listening. I know better than to listen to Joe.
But it's not. Anyway.
It's not July 11th.
July 21st.
He'd never say that.
I saw the one and just made an assumption.
Joe would never say it's July.
No, I never get it wrong.
Usually
I wish I want more summer.
Usually I say January 11th.
That's the voice of Melissa Murray.
That's right. Good morning, Melissa.
Good morning.
All right, now that we're all set on the date, here we go. This segment of the Coffee Ann program is sponsored by the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. What have you seen in your email lately, Dave, from that organization?
Well, they sent us the upcoming events list, which starts with Businesses Brewing Network pop-up at the Providence Brewing Company in partnership with the Rhode Island Hispanic Chamber. That's coming up on Wednesday, August 9th, which isn't as far away as it might appear.
As you
it's
think
only
it is.
a couple of weeks away. And then welcome Wednesday Network Coffee on Wednesday, the 16th of August from 8 to 9 in the morning at the BBBS headquarters in Providence, free and open to all. And community job fairs coming up on August 10th as well. Plus the Eggs and Issues breakfast with the Secretary of State Amore, who is really, when I met him, I was completely, my brain was rearranged because I got one picture of him from the campaign and seeing his pictures and stuff like that. When you stand in the State House Library and actually speak to the dude, he's got different levels and depths that are way beyond. Here's somebody you want to know.
He's a great guy.
That's how
really
I felt.
Is. Yes.
So you met him too.
Yes.
All right.
know well.
So anyway, he's going to be the speaker at the Eggs and Issues breakfast of the Chamber on Thursday, September 14th. It's not too early to register. Just call the Chamber at 334-1000, Joe.
All right, Dave, thank you very much. And a little later on, we're going to be joined by Meg Rigo to talk about the 11-amp Woonsocket music series for tonight. And around 8:30, we'll be joined by Woonsocket City Council Vice President Valerie Gonzalez. And she'll give us everything she needs to know because the Dignity Bus is in town.
It has arrived.
We'll see how that's going. Rich Lane cannot join us this week. He has a prior commitment, and we expect Rich to join us next week. Now, Melissa had a few things that she wanted to bring up here in the Coffee Ann program of things that are going on here in the city. So what's going on, Melissa?
Okay, so I wasn't quite ready to do it this early.
Oh,
but
well, go.
Okay, go. So I wanted to fill in for Rich Lane a little bit, but I don't have the post 85 stuff pulled up yet.
Oh, I'll do
but
that later.
I can tell you that the Downtown Woonsocket Collaborative, or DWC as we call it, I am a founding member, but right now I am an ex officio member, non-voting, and that is because because of my schedule, I wasn't always able to get there, and I didn't want to hold up any votes because they didn't have a quorum because of me. However, I have been designated, I guess, the all events chair, and we have some events coming up. Our signature event, Twilight on the Blackstone, which for those of you that don't know, we close off the Court Street Bridge. We get a stage up there. We have a band playing. This year it's No Exit 4. They are a Rhode Island band. We're serving a multi-course meal on the bridge. We put up little twinkle lights, and it's just a really nice time. You will see Woonsocket from a different perspective. It's a very unique, one-of-a-kind event, so we kind of just do a big dinner and dancing and mix and mingle. There'll be a bar there, a cash bar provided by Ciro's. And the tickets are now live on dwc02895.org. That's where you can see about all of our events. The tickets are pricey. This is our once-a-year fundraiser so that we can fund our other stuff and keep it free, stuff like the Main Street Stroll, which is coming up sooner than you think. The tickets are $75 per person. You get a little bit of a break for a table of 8. A couple is $150, and a table of 8 is $560. So,
Okay.
if you have a bunch of friends, you want to go in on it, get a table of 8. It's a really, really, really fun time. If you have any questions, you can email me at events@dwc02895.org. Another event that we have coming up, which is a repeat event, is Arts in the Alley. That's at Lops Brewing. It's an artisan pop-up. We'll have a food truck there and also live music out on the patio. We hope that it's going to be a nice day. That's coming up September 23rd, and that is from 1 to 5 p.m. If you are an artist or artisan, or you know one, we are still looking for artists. We have some slots available. Again, go to dwco2895.org and the drop-down menu. You'll have an application there, and it is a juried event, but it's really nice. And the final thing I have to mention is a brand new event for us. It is the Mrs. Roper Romp.
We all know Mrs. Roper from Three's Company.
Yes. So the folks who are too young don't know, but if you know, you know.
Yeah.
And so this is a romp from business to business in downtown Woonsocket. And the criteria is that you show up at the designated time dressed as Mrs. Roper. You must be dressed as Mrs. Roper. That means everybody. And we'll be announcing.
I've got to wear a muumuu.
You have to wear a muumuu. You know what?
And a wig, Dave.
And a wig, right? We'll have prizes for best contest. We're going to do some Three's Company trivia, and we'll just be kind of cash mobbing in a way, I guess. Some businesses.
That'd be one way to describe it for people who don't quite understand.
Yeah.
Right. You're not allowed to do a pub crawl in Rhode Island, so we will be like cash mobbing.
So we're leaving the pubs out.
Well, no, there's pubs
No.
involved.
Oh, okay, all right.
But
You just can't call it that.
But you just can't get down on all fours and.
no, you can't. I don't advise that on the city sidewalk. No. So I think it's going to be a really fun time. We've had a lot of interest, and I can tell you, I bought my muumuu already. It's really comfortable. I wanted to wear it here today.
Did you get the fake pearls and the big earrings too?
Not yet. That's in the works. That's in the works. But
all right.
Yes, it's a garish, wonderful, super comfy. I
You'll-
can vouch for the muumuu.
you'll
They
have-
call them caftans now.
Is that what they're called?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
caftans. So
I threw this trivia question out at Melissa, Dave. I'll throw it out at you on Three's Company trivia. You good at Three's Company trivia, you think?
No,
No? Oh.
never watched the show.
You didn't?
No, I
Huge
mean,
hit in
I
the
saw a
70s.
couple of episodes. I realized what was going down, and I says, "Not for me." Bye.
Wow. Well, you missed out.
I keep bumping into it as reruns, but I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
stay and
yeah,
watch it.
they are on
Okay.
reruns.
Well, you're not going to know the trivia question. So
I mean,
never
I
mind.
really liked, Mr. Ritter. He was
funny.
I
Yeah, he's
thought
funny.
he was
Yeah.
he was capable, but he
Yes.
was playing beneath his depth.
Well, you had to start somewhere.
That's right, but he kept going.
Well,
that
that's-
wasn't just the
that's-
start. That was like a continuous.
Hey,
well,
you
that
know
was-
what?
that
It was
was the
lucrative.
character.
People liked it.
Yeah.
That's true.
He's going to
That's
fall
true.
down. He's going to get hit by a door. He's going to fall over the couch. You know,
Yes,
that kind of
right,
stuff.
right,
and,
right.
People laughed. So that was the whole point.
You know, that is really the whole point. You're right.
All right, moving on then. We'll have to get Melissa's and Dave's opinion on this. Cause,
You're not going to ask her the trivia question?
Well, I asked her yesterday, sir. She already knows the answer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead. Give
wanna-
me,
you wanna-
give me a
question.
try. Give
All
me
right.
I
a,
wanna-
for the sake of the show.
How much did the Ropers charge? They were the landlords, okay? They charged for that apartment.
Oh, heaven knows. No, that out gone. I have
Yeah,
no
no
idea.
idea. Okay.
I couldn't even start.
$300 a month. And that was always the running gag because three of them shared the apartment, so they all had to come up with $100 a month and could never do it.
And they always ran short.
And two of them worked full time. How
Yeah.
could they not come up with $100?
Well, low-paying jobs.
Well, they both worked full time.
I know, but low-paying
And
jobs.
Jack was going to school.
Remember,
He was
I go
gonna be a
back.
chef.
My first full-time job was $1.42 an hour.
Oh, you're
So
old.
I mean, I go back a ways, so I can picture coming up with $100 a
Well,
month being a problem.
This would have been 1978.
Do you know what the? Do you know what
yeah,
the-
this is 1978.
Do you know what the mortgage was on my father's house that he was paying?
No.
Because he had he got
I
the
wasn't
mortgage.
there.
He got the mortgage, I think, in '59 or '60 or something like that. But by the time I was old enough to even know what the mortgage was,
Yeah.
and this included the taxes
Yeah.
on this single-family house that we had.
$75 a month.
No less.
Wow.
Oh my god.
It was $49 a month.
Wow. That was everything.
And with 6 kids, sometimes that was a chore to try to come up with that every month.
Right.
Well, all right. Well, I'm just saying.
What do you mean?
that,
Everything's on a different scale.
Janet was the manager of a flower shop, and Chrissy was a secretary, I think. So I think
She did a lot of different. Yeah, yeah.
I think they could have come up with $100 each. And Jack was a student. I don't know how he just did odd jobs.
No, he also worked in a restaurant. I believe he was a cook.
Yeah, he jumped from place to place.
Yeah.
You
All
kidding
right.
me? He was working on a TV show. I saw
What
it.
was all right? I'll do one more trivia question for Three's Company. Feel free to use these.
I'm going
what
to.
What was the name of the bar they went to that was downstairs?
The Regal Beagle.
The Regal Beagle.
Downstairs
Well,
on there.
it was nearby the.
It was nearby.
nearby their apartment complex.
Right.
They always said, "Let's go down to the Regal Beagle." So
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. The
Was
Regal
that
Beagle.
supposed to be in a high-rise apartment building? Because I
Not
always got
high-rise.
I saw the bushes and stuff
Yeah.
outside the door. Seemed to me that was like
It was no. It was
Campus
about,
style.
It was always like 2 floors, maybe 3.
they weren't on the second floor.
Yes, they were, because the Ropers were downstairs.
That's
We're
right.
below them.
Well, how does that work with all the flora and fauna out
Well,
the door?
Dave, when you're 12, you don't think about these things. You don't
Oh,
care.
okay. I'm sorry. Dave thinks about these things.
You were much more interested in
And
what
goes
Suzanne
tilt,
Summers
tilt,
was
tilt.
wearing.
That's why. The love of my life, my soulmate, the fabulous Denise, loves watching murder mysteries, and I look at them. I say, "No,
Oh, I love
that
those
can't
two.
happen. That doesn't happen. They're sloppy director. You know,
They just picked up the evidence with their bare hands. You don't
That's
do that.
right.
I know. I'm the same way.
the corpse was looking this way in one photo, that way in another photo. I'm sorry.
All right, moving on for Three's Company. we'll get Melissa's and Dave's thoughts on this. The whole thing with Lieutenant Governor Sabina Matos and the congressional running for Congress and the not good signatures.
It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's right.
Really
and,
is.
and since it keeps getting bigger and bigger, and the state police are involved and the attorney general's involved, do you think this affects her campaign? Does this come down on her, or does it really just affect her supporters, of the person that made basically the mistake?
Well, there's two ways to look at that, Joe.
Yeah.
And Melissa will explain.
Well-
Does this affect her campaign?
I think it does come down on her.
All right.
If you are wanting to be a congressperson, you need to have effective leadership skills, and you need to be able to put together a big, a team that you vetted.
That is not crooked.
Yeah.
That is vetted. And if you can't do that for your campaign, how are you going to do it in Congress? That's
Okay.
I know that sounds harsh, but
Yeah.
it's true. There's been a lot of mistakes made in the beginning when the campaign announced some folks that were supporting, and then those folks said, "Oh no, we never said that we endorsed you," and it just hasn't been. It's just bumble after bumble. I think that it will affect her campaign.
All right.
It's a short window.
Yeah.
Question here. Does it stop at East Providence?
Does what stop at East Providence?
The questioning of signatures.
Instead
Well,
of going
no,
out to
there's-
like Woonsocket and Cumberland and Lincoln.
Well,
and
I wouldn't
other
want to
places?
choose
I
a.
think
I wouldn't
that-
want to choose a particular community, but you got
right,
Newport.
so we've got Newport, Jamestown, East
Jamestown.
Providence, which is
and now, does it stop at East Providence, or will there be others? Do you
If-
expect?
well, I expect probably the whole thing will be challenged. If I were running,
Well, the state board of elections is now getting involved, not just the
Yep,
local boards.
Yep. If I were running, I would probably look at those sheets very carefully and
Well,
start asking a lot of questions.
There's 11 other people
Yeah.
who
and
could
aren't
who,
they?
who probably want to see a big investigation.
Yeah, sure.
Now they've narrowed it down to one person that got the bad signatures in Jamestown and Newport.
That's
Is it-
right,
is
and they're
it the-
trying to
but is
smear
it-
Dan McKee with her.
Is it the same person that got the bad signatures in East Providence, or is there a second person on her campaign that got bad signatures?
That I'm not sure.
Okay. That'd be part of the investigation.
I mean,
Yes.
the news story was adamant about saying, "Oh, and this person,
worked for Dan McKee.
right?
If she was in his ad.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Because she got the most signatures for him, right? Is that why she was in the ad? That's what I hear.
No, I think
No?
she's just in one of his ads. So
Just because.
she's
Okay.
Well, he had a
from-
couple of ads where there's a lot of people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
I
She was
see.
like one of the ones that like made a statement, and then it goes to another person that makes a statement, and that kind of advert. So
All right. Well, if it come up and went away quickly, I think it would have been not as adverse to her campaign.
Right.
But it just keeps going on.
Yeah, it
and
keeps
on
getting
and
bigger and
bigger
bigger.
and bigger. And once it went to the AG and now to the state police.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's not good.
uh-oh. And you don't hear much from her other than her one statement saying,
yeah, and that's
oops, sorry
that's
about that.
problematic as well.
Well,
You think so?
I do.
well,
Well, you got to think of style. Now you have to understand this. If you were advising Sabina Matos as an individual who was on a ballot, and you were a campaign advisor, the first advice, if I were doing that, would not be you go out in public and
well, you can't.
what are you saying?
How
Well,
can,
you
how
can't.
can she go out and campaign if she's just the press will be after her?
No. Now you're thinking of it defensively.
All right.
No, English is Sabina's second language. She's not going to be the one who's going to be glib in front of the cameras and do witty retorts
Repartee.
and to be able to end the subject in a reporting environment, a reporter environment, like a news conference, where she could just shut down the questioning with a good answer. It's not her strong suit. So if I were advising the candidate, I would not be saying, you got to get out there and say, all right, I want to know the names of the people who are involved in all this. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. This doesn't happen in my campaign, where you might expect, and I was sensing that Melissa was expecting or wanting to see that from the candidate.
I would have liked to. Yeah.
You would have felt better if you got that. But if I were advising the candidate, I would have said, English isn't your first language. Somebody's going to take advantage of you for that, and it's going to make you look bad on this when it shouldn't. It would be unfair for you to go out and attack it that way.
But now she can't campaign.
Sure she can. Because well, have you seen Sabina Matos' campaign?
No, I haven't. So.
It's not big speeches and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's going around and shaking hands with people and talking with people. That's her strong suit.
But if she goes out in public, will she be hounded by the press? 10,
Well,
12, 6,
that
Providence Journal
happens
coming after her?
that happens when you're in a lieutenant governor that has a negative story on you anyway.
Right.
So, is it going? But I don't think this is going to stop her from campaigning. But she still wants to campaign her way.
All right.
That's her style. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
And there's something to be
And you
said
have
for
to
that.
understand that.
In,
I mean-
in this kind of race,
Yeah.
you
Yep.
need to do that.
You could have a man who has a traditional marriage to a female, and the man is out there publicly campaigning, and the female doesn't feel comfortable in public. Well, you'd want to see, the possible first lady of the state, if it was a governor's office he was campaigning for. You'd want to meet this person, and you want her to be able to come up to like Jackie Kennedy did and charm people and stuff like that. But if that's not what that person is all about,
yeah.
making that person do something that isn't in their wheelhouse is a recipe for disaster in a campaign. So you just choose another way to campaign.
All right, we're going to take a break on the Coffee and program. This segment has been sponsored by the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. So, Dave, you got a second message there for the Chamber, please?
Yeah,
Make it quick.
334-1000. Call after 9 o'clock this morning. Someone will answer the phone, and you can ask all about the Eggs and Issues breakfast or how the Chamber can help you in your little business endeavor. 334-1000, Joe.
All right, when we come back, we'll be talking to Meg Rigo about Levitt Amp.
All right.
Summer Sizzler sale continues at Family Discount Furniture. Come in for hot summer deals. Family Discount Furniture has a huge selection in stock ready to bring home same day. Are you having trouble sleeping at night because you're just broiling? Well, check out the new Cooling Gel Mattress lineup. See the Ashley Collection Sofa and Love Seat or Sectional. Family Discount Furniture offers flexible leasing options, no credit needed. For details, talk to Ryan or Brad at Family Discount Furniture and visit online at FamilyDiscountFurnitureRI.com. Enjoy new furniture this summer from Family Discount Furniture on the corner of Social Street and Diamond Hill Road in Woonsocket. The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
ON Radio.
It is Coffee Ann on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Dave Richards and Melissa Murray. Joining us on the phone right now from NeighborWorks,
the Megster!
Blackstone River Valley. It's Meg Rigo, not Meg Ryan. I got it right this week.
Good job. Good job.
How are you, Meg?
Good morning,
2
everyone.
points for
I'm
the
doing
Irish kid.
Great.
That's how I went the Ryan way. Anyway, 11 amp tonight. We're looking look like gonna be cloudy, but we're looking okay.
Let me just say this about that.
Go ahead, Dave.
Let me just say this about that. Meg has this really positive philosophy and a wicked set of rosary beads. And last week, it was, I admired her so much. She says, "Oh, really? Possible rain, eh? Okay. All right, we're going outside." And that was it. And she sold it. She sold it to the weather gods and everything else that that covers it. And the forecast actually got better all day long. And so that was
Let's hope that
fantastic
happens
last
again.
week.
Yeah.
This week, it looks like the weather patterns are changing. The weather's acting like a whole different two-year-old with different motivations and stuff like that. Right now, no problem. Going right up to 6 o'clock, no problem. After 7 o'clock, you got an increased chance of a thunderstorm passing through. Something quick. And so, Meg, likely the game will start on time. But have the tarp ready at 10 o'clock.
You'll be done by then.
Because I don't give you a Plug Nichols chance of continuing past 10 o'clock.
All right, tonight's band.
Fortunately, the show ends at 9.
So perfect.
I was waiting for you to say that, kiddo.
So tonight it is the Young Dubliners and their Celtic Rock. This is their first foray to Woonsocket.
It is their first foray to Woonsocket. We've been looking to do a Celtic rock act for a few years now. It's been a genre that's been heavily requested by our Woonsocket fans. And so we were fortunate that the Young Dubliners were touring through the area and were gracious enough to take a stop at River Island Art Park.
And do you know, it's very difficult to find a Celtic rock band that actually knows how to foray.
That's right.
I mean, maybe Gavotte,
Yes.
Foxtrot, but never
Not a
foray.
foray.
Yeah.
But and the Celtic, we played one of their songs earlier, and it's just so cool to hear between the guitars and the drums, but the fife in the background and all the other Irish instruments that they'll be bringing with
And the
them.
duet of the lead guitar and the fife in the same note.
Yeah.
And they change
Amazing.
notes so
It's-
frequently.
They're a 7-piece group, and their lead singer organizer is from Dublin. So we've
All
got
right.
a lot of authentic Irish that will be on our stage this evening.
I hope he speaks so slowly. Sometimes when the Irish speak fast, they're, huh? Okay. But anyway, it's a lot of high energy tonight, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a dance party, and you're going to be tapping your feet along, and it's going to be a great time.
And the opening act is Julie Rhodes.
Yes, Julia Rhodes, local blues musician, lived in Woonsocket for a period of time and is a Rhode Islander. She's moved. We lured her with our great music scene from Massachusetts to Rhode Island. So
Excellent.
we're taking that as 11 amp Woonsocket win. But she is a blues musician. She's been named the female vocalist of the year, and she has many other accolades. And she's also one of our Levitt favorites. She actually, fun fact, was the very first musician to ever perform on our Levitt Amp Woonsocket stage. She
Oh, that's
opened up the
exciting.
series in 2018.
Wow, good
Yeah.
for her. That's great.
Yeah.
So we like.
right to the back.
Yeah, and so we like to ask this every week because it's a revolving companies. What do you got for food trucks tonight?
Sure. We have the taco truck back, Antojitos de mi Sierra Lanita. And Nessa Snack Shack is making her first appearance in the park of this season. And so she's doing food in addition to snacks. I think she was talking about fried fish, which is delicious.
Fantastic. So it's tonight at River Island Art Park, 6 to 9 p.m., rain or shine, and it's all free. On-site bar, food truck, kids' activities as well. Do you know who Jerry is bringing with her tonight? Jerry Barclay King from Jerry's Bluffing Boutique.
Tonight, she's bringing Bollywood dancers. They are a stunning group. There are many of them, and they show off their Bollywood dance skills. So in Jerry's lingo, we're going to India.
So blues, India, Ireland.
We're really making our way around the world.
I like it. I like it. All right. So that's tonight at the 11 Amp Woonsocket Music Series at 6 to 9 p.m. And if you can't be there, we have it for you here on ON Radio, on our website, and our social media
And
channels.
Meg, Joe is filling in for Tebow tonight on the truck.
Yes, I'll be there.
Oh, we got you in. Is it because we brought the Irish band?
That's exactly it.
Well,
my
that
my
would be
brethren.
great.
Not that I can sing any Gaelic or anything like that.
No.
But all right, Meg. Well, thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you at River Island Art Park for the 11 Amp Series tonight.
See you at 4 o'clock in the park. The reason I told you to look for your email is because I got an automatic reply back saying you weren't going to look at emails.
Thanks. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, see
To
ya.
everyone listening, I have consulted my email. Everyone, we'll see you tonight.
Very good.
bet.
Thanks,
See ya.
Meg. Meg Rigo from NeighborWorks, Blackstone River Valley, and the 11 Amp Woonsocket
Really, the
Music
way
Series.
the weather's looking right now, we're going to be just fine.
All right.
But everybody don't dally in the park after 9 o'clock because it's going to be right on the doorstep.
Get out or bring your umbrella. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Dave and I talked about this a little, Melissa, before we went on the air. We may be on the same page on this. I don't know where you stand on this. It's the whole thing with this soldier in Korea, Private Travis King, who was in trouble. He got into a fight. Did he fight an MP? Anyway, he got into a fight,
Yep.
and he was leaving Korea
He's sent-
to
being
come back to
yep,
the U.S.
sent
to
home.
go to prison.
Yep.
All right. And so instead of getting on the bus, he joins a tourist group
Yes.
in the DMZ, the militarized zone,
And makes a break
and
for
then
it.
runs into North Korea.
Into North Korea.
So Dave and I were both saying, "Okay, see you later, bye."
That's exactly what I thought.
Oh, okay.
You know,
But
good luck.
Best of luck in that.
Best of luck to you.
Because they're gonna tell you you're a spy. That's just, and so you're in real trouble with
Or
those
they're
guys.
going to try to, if they figure, and nobody can find him, right?
Well, that's what they're
Did he-
telling
That's
us.
what they say.
Did he
They
think
hold
they were
him for
going to make him a
ransom.
I
millionaire
don't
because he
know.
could tell them anything they wanted to
Wanna
know
know.
about the military?
Perhaps, or maybe they think they're going to, try to hold him hostage, and I mean, okay, yeah, well, sorry, you can keep him.
Yeah, that's right.
You
want to see how the other half lives? Okay, there you go.
Yeah, yeah.
I know the military has to try to get him back.
Of course,
I understand it.
Of course. And they're his family. I'm sure.
And his family. You're right.
We don't know.
And
who's
North Korea is just being
pissing
very
him.
silent about the whole thing right now.
imagine
at least
they would
publicly.
be,
So,
yeah.
No, I don't think they're saying, well, we don't know what you're talking about, but they're just saying, where is he? Well, we don't want to tell you
Well,
right
they either
now.
have him or he's out somewhere and they can't find him, and maybe he'll survive
Show up.
and maybe he won't. Who knows?
I don't know what he's thinking.
What?
Let
Yeah,
me- let
right.
me run
Why
into North
would
Korea.
you? At no point does that seem like a good idea, right? I mean,
This is the best laid plan.
like this. Yeah, yeah.
You know,
That's
Levin-
my best option.
Even if they were sending you, well, they were sending him to Fort Bliss in Texas. So I guess it's better than Leavenworth, but I don't know why he thought he'd have more freedom going into North Korea. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck with your decisions.
Well,
Obviously, the young man
Troubled?
is well practiced at making poor choices.
I guess was joining the military one of his poor choices.
Well, in his
And he
situation,
thought it would be
I don't
better
know.
for would probably thought it would produce a better outcome, and it didn't.
And it hasn't, so-
Some folks, the military straightens them out,
And others it doesn't.
and others it just that doesn't work.
All right.
Don't
Well,
run to North Korea.
maybe he got his directions mixed up and he thought he was going south.
Who knows?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. I was flummoxed when I heard about that.
All right, we're going to break here on the Coffee and program and bring you the weather report, being brought to you by Compassion International.
Increasing clouds today with a high near 80 degrees and a calm wind. There is a 30% chance of some light showers. Tonight, a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms, overnight low of 66. Saturday's weather, sunshine and 83. Sunday, sunshine and 86. Monday, sunshine and 87. Tuesday, sunshine and 86. Wednesday, sunshine and 87. And next Thursday, mostly sunny with a high of 89 degrees.
Currently outside the Navigate Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street with cloudy skies. We have 77 degrees. Families in poverty are facing a global food crisis. $50 provides a food kit to feed a family for a month. Just text the word radio to 97646.
This is Ed Carew of the Carew Investment Group, 765-8880, with some simple advice about investing. The truth is, there is no simple advice about investing. The old days of financial uptrends and downtrends, lasting for days, weeks, and months or longer, are gone. Sometimes trends last only part of a day before changing direction. Investing is not an activity for those who cannot take the time to study and see each twist and turn for the opportunity that it truly presents. Since 1987, I've seen them all, and I'll invest your money the same way I invest for myself. Carefully, very carefully. And it won't cost you a nickel to talk about it with me. So call me, Ed Carew, at 765-8880 right here in Woonsocket. Securities offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA, SIPC. Advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
Say, when you need a new vacuum cleaner, don't make the big box stores your first stop. Visit the experts at Marion's Sew and Vac in Bellingham. Marion's has in stock the upright SIBO brand vacuum cleaners. They're incredibly durable, lasting an average of 20 to 25 years. SIBO vacuum cleaners have hospital-grade filtration installed on each machine. This filtration removes more than 99% of all airborne particles. Marion's Sew and Vac can service your vacuum cleaner and sewing machine too. The experts on vacuum cleaners and sewing machines are at Marion's Sew and Vac on Pulaski Boulevard in Bellingham.
Hello, this is Manny Brando. I hope you will listen to us each Sunday morning at 8:30. I will sing your favorite songs, and my wife Virginia will organize everything.
That's right, Manny. It's the Manny and Virginia show every Sunday morning at 8:30 on ON, AM, and FM radio.
Coffee and here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan here with Dave Richards, Melissa Murray, and we're being joined at the Coffee and table by Woonsocket City Council Vice President Valerie Gonzalez. Hi, Valerie.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Nice to have you here. We're going to talk to Valerie in just a second, but Dave, it's time for your first message from the Valley Breeze newspaper, this segment sponsor of Coffee and.
I have in my hand, Joe, here, the Valley Breeze for Cumberland and Lincoln. Free where you shop every Thursday. And we also have a few copies of the Cumberland Lincoln and the Woonsocket North Smithfield Blackstone editions on our freebie table here at 985 Park Avenue. Drop on by. And Ethan Shorey has a story here about the new Firefighters Foundation using a Touch a Truck event to promote the trades. Also some nice pictures on there. And the Lincoln Water Commission and their director, Ken Booth, says water restrictions are working. Well, that's good news, because who wants to have the water restrictions in the first place? But at least if you got them, you want them to work. In the North Smithfield, Blackstone, and Woonsocket edition, stories from Woonsocket. The RMI Compassion Center, officially on its way to becoming a medical marijuana shop here in Woonsocket, and one of a number of new companies expected to join the Walnut Hill Plaza soon. They have words here from Bella Pelletier, who was reporting on the July 11th zoning board meeting in Woonsocket. She was also in North Smithfield, where North Smithfield school officials are defending a part-time athletic director position. And a fun story from North Smithfield that Bella is reporting on here is that there's a new Rhode Island PBS, that's Channel 36 for your old-timers, kids television show to launch based on the video game, and the production company is based here in Rhode Island. And actually, who is it now that Pollywog Pond, that's the name of the show, Pollywog Pond, based on the video game portal Pollywood Pog. Anyway, read all about it. Bill Culberson, who's executive producer, is a local guy, and Bella reports about it on the Valley Breeze. Free where you shop every Thursday. The Valley Breeze newspapers brings you the third segment of conversation on the Friday Coffee and for years.
All right, there. Thanks, Dave. Quick question there for Valerie right off the bat, because Dave mentioned it. Did the medical marijuana company, did that have to get city council approval in order to come to the city?
Well, I think that I think every business is going to have to at some point, but it has not gone through yet.
Oh, okay.
Well, there was a Superior Court suit about this. Yeah, it's kind of like, the zoning board. From what I was able to glean from the zoning board meeting and Bella's reporting, is that this was not something that they said, oh yeah, let's go and do this. It was the court ordered them to do it. And so it was voted and there.
Okay. All right. So we asked Valerie to come in because we really wanted to talk about the Dignity Bus, which is here in the city.
Yes,
it arrived
it
a couple
is.
of days ago.
It did.
And in my
And
estimation,
it looks just like it did when she had it on her
down in Florida, right?
Spanish
Actually-
radio show.
That's right.
Actually, it looks a little different.
Does it?
Because at the
Well, I
very
mean,
last
the paint job.
no,
they
at-
hadn't done the paint job.
no,
at, that
at the
time.
very last minute when the state ordered the bus,
Yeah.
they wanted it plain, no lettering. And
Yeah.
at the last minute, I was like, come on, if
Yeah.
we're gonna put so they did put the Dignity Bus
RI
RI.
on it.
Yeah, they added that
they-
maybe a couple
they
of
did it
days
for you?
before.
Does it say it on both sides of the bus?
It says that on both sides.
Besides
Yeah.
in the front.
That's
Does it
only
say
because
in
they
the back
couldn't
too?
they couldn't fit Woonsocket on it.
Is it on the back too?
It's not
No,
on the
just
back,
the sides
just
and the-
on the
and the
sides
front.
and the front.
Okay. In my estimation, this actually went rather quickly. Usually things like this get dragged out for whatever reason. But you were just down there a couple of months ago, basically put the whole thing together, and now the bus is here.
Yeah, well, it started in November of last year, the
Okay.
process. But I think a lot of, and this is why I know there's been a lot of talk about the state, but I like to give credit where credit is due. And this would have never gotten to Woonsocket if the governor had never said yes, if Stephen Pryor hadn't taken next steps. Obviously we weren't happy with, when we thought we were going to lose the bus, but the work that they did allowed us to move a little bit more quickly. And, we've had a lot of questions about, how the procedures are going to go. And we don't have all those answers because that takes time. But because it's only been really like 2 months since we've said, okay, we're going to bring it to Woonsocket and just making everything work, it moved really, really fast. It happened a lot
Yes.
faster than I thought it would, and I'm really excited about it.
But
So-
Valerie and her husband and some friends took us on a tour of that bus, which you broadcast on your Thursday night radio show,
Yes, I did.
radio TV show.
De todo un poco.
Yes.
Si alguien está escuchando y habla español, todos los jueves a las 7 de la tarde aquí en WOON.
Thank you. Thank you for the recognition.
All right, and
Now, Joe. That was
Just being
pretty.
funny.
That was pretty elementary Spanish
I
there.
know.
If you don't know
Yeah,
what
yeah.
she said.
all right. So the bus is at Holy Family Church now.
It is at Holy Family
Has
Church.
it started accepting? Homeless people yet?
No, we will not be accepting probably till closer to the fall.
Why is that?
Because this thing, and I tell you, even after, especially after this weekend, that we just spent some time with Tony from The Source, and we're understanding more of what they do. The bus is not the solution. The bus is just one little piece of a whole huge plan, and they, we know we need a little bit of tweaking in some of the way that we do certain things here, or even and this is not a judgment to anybody, because I've been serving the needy community for years. We've done feeding ministries and things like that, but there was a little shift in my paradigm where one of the things that they say is, have you heard of, it's not a handout, it's a hand up? Well, they don't say that. They say it's a hand in. Because in finding the solutions, we're racking our brains, looking for volunteers, looking to hire, and we've forgotten that these people have value and they can contribute to the solution. And the way that they run it in Florida, they do.
Which is where the bus was
where
rehabbed.
that's it. That's we're only the second community to get one of these buses. We're the third bus because they have 2 in Vero Beach, but it's not just the bus. I mean, they're feeding ministries. They're actually like restaurant style. You get a menu, everything like it. When people see the word dignity, they're like, "Oh, the bus is not a dignity," but it's not the bus; it's the plan, And not that we're gonna do exactly like this, but they actually food certify these people to give them work experience. They all those they don't call out for volunteers. They actually have the homeless people
Just to
actually
speed things
become-
up in case folks aren't
Yeah.
catching up to you, didn't hear it, you're using an awful lot of people who are needy
Yeah.
to serve the needy.
You're giving them value.
Yeah, that's the dignity part.
Yeah, that's the
and
dignity.
if people hadn't quite caught on to that yet,
Yeah.
they've got to understand that while they hear you talk.
Yeah, because the truth is, oftentimes we see them in their condition, and we we have empathy or we feel sorry, and we try to, in our humanity, will translate that as someone, whether we think to or not, as someone that is more like disabled and not able to do that. But these people still have worth. So what they do is they have these interviews, they join a program, they charge $2 per night for a pod, and a lot of people are like, well, you shouldn't charge the homeless or whatever. I went yesterday, we had training, we sat at Safe Haven with about 10 people who are homeless. We showed them the video and the pictures of the bus. We told them, a tentative plan. We said, so we're thinking of charging $2. And they were like, what? That's it? One of them said, well, I can pay for me and a couple of other people, because and it makes them feel like they're contributing something. And it's just, that's what we're working on. How are we going to put wraparound services, and not wraparound services in the way that it's been presented, but wraparound services that'll start including their gifting and their ability, because they have worth, they have value, and even in their condition, they have something to contribute to our community.
All right. Melissa, did you have a question or anything? We didn't want to leave you out of this.
No, I think it's wonderful. And we have been knowing that this is a problem, and we've not been able to address it. And this is on the state level, this is on the city level, and and we know that what we have been doing or not doing isn't working and isn't helping. And there is that gap in between, and I know this, a lot of people don't realize it, that there are folks who are living in tents who go to their jobs every day, and they just don't make enough money. And another problem is that, many shelters only take men or only take women. And if you're a couple that wants to stay together, there's really no place for you. And they do take couples, they will take families with kids. And you'll say, well, I don't think a family should be sleeping in a bus. Well, if they're sleeping in their car as their only option, and they're running the car to keep warm.
Let's get over
right?
this bus
so,
thing. The fact is that if you had it in a building, it
Right.
would be at one location regardless of where the need was.
Right.
So you put it in a bus so that you can move to where the need is.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we'll say this.
That's it, because the bus is as big as you're going to get.
Yeah.
Right. It's
So-
not about the bus, but it's about thinking outside the box, and you have to try something.
And I think
You
it's
can make it
always
work.
remembering this particular bus, it's really just sleeping quarters. We're not providing shelter. People aren't moving in with each other.
That's right.
And even if you have a couple's not going to be together on a bed. Like they
Right.
would be like one in each pod.
Right.
Yeah,
And
they're-
we haven't
they're
decided.
single-occupant bunks.
And I'm always a little bit cautious because we have not sat down with public safety and everybody else to decide all the details. So we're not saying it's for men only, women only, everybody. Like what we want is to move more people along, you know, but we still have to have those conversations. But what I like about the conversation that's happening is that, from the perspective that I'm in, and why I think this was really successful in the acquisition so far, is that you have the purview of the providers, you have the purview of the municipality, and now you have the purview of the homeless population. So you're not just like social services will just oftentimes will be just thinking about the need of the person that is homeless. But oftentimes they don't consider that some of the things that they're doing to help them is actually hurting them, because it'll keep communities that should be building permanent and supportive housing from doing so, because they think they're going to get an influx or something like that. So you have to look at the whole picture. Look at the three different entities, and nobody gets nobody's going to get everything they want, but we can find something that is going to help everyone. This bus is great because it sort of checked those boxes that we were looking at the Community Partnership Task Force, where we have the municipalities saying we can't keep taking buildings off the tax roll. Well, this doesn't. It's sitting in a place that is nonprofit,
Right.
and is not going to cost our payers any extra money. So those are the things that you have to look at more than just what the need is, but how it affects your community and who is involved, and how we can work together to find common ground.
All right, we're going to take a break here on the Coffee and program, but more about the Dignity Bus coming up with Woonsocket City Council Vice President Valerie Gonzalez. This portion of the Coffee and program has been sponsored by the Valley Breeze newspaper.
Since its founding in 1996, the Valley Breeze has been the trusted source for local news in the Blackstone Valley. Our readers and advertisers understand that shining a light on all aspects of our communities and doing it with some of the best local journalism anywhere makes these cities and towns better places to live in. We believe that truth has value and should triumph over rumors and misinformation. See valleybreeze.com or any of our 5 editions for more on how you can be part of this local news success story.
For an Allstate agent, providing protection options that fit your life is something they take, well, personally. Allstate agents are committed to learning about your needs and helping customize protection to meet them. From bundling your home and auto insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage, your Allstate agent can help build an insurance proposal that fits your life. And just as important as learning what you need is learning what you don't. Because helping you get coverage you want with savings you deserve is what Allstate is all about. It's time to get coverage that's catered to you. Are you in good hands? Call Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. One telephone number, 765-5000. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois. This is the most wonderful time of the year when we can feed ourselves with fresh fruits and vegetables like no other time of year, because Old Orchard Farm is open for the season. Be sure to stop by Old Orchard Farm in Manville. The freshest vegetables are ready for you there. Lettuce, carrots, tomatoes, squash, broccoli, peppers, eggplant, and the native corn on the cob we wait all year for. Plus, native blueberries. Old Orchard Farm now carries Belize bread products and Wright's Dairy Farm milk. When you stop by, say hello to Ashley and Tina, the new owners of Old Orchard Farm, 505 Old River Road in Manville. Old Orchard Farm. Let's grow together. It's coming. It's the Holy Trinity Parish Carnival at the parish grounds on Park Square in Woonsocket. Wednesday, August 2nd through Saturday, August 5th. Ride all the Rockwell rides Wednesday night and Saturday afternoon with a one-price rides-all bracelet. The Holy Trinity Carnival Kitchen and parish games open from 6 to 11. Food trucks featuring Mickey G's clam cakes and chowder, Spanish cuisine, and bugged-out barbecue. Classroom bingo and entertainment every night. Plus fireworks Thursday night and a Saturday matinee. It's 4 nights and one great afternoon of summertime fun at the Holy Trinity Parish Carnival, Wednesday, August 2nd to Saturday, August 5th. Make your plans to be there.
All right, it is Coffee and here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here, along with Valerie Gonzalez and Melissa
Joe,
Murray, and Dave Richards, who's going to tell us everything he knows about Chan's.
Yes, John Chan says, well, we got something special this weekend. Now, if you're going to be busy this weekend, there's still your opportunity to see a Salute to the Commander at Chan's at 8 o'clock. Why? Because they're on tonight and tomorrow at 8 o'clock. So if you can't go tonight, I can't go tonight, then you can go tomorrow. And Salute to Commander, Joe likes to pull these tricks on me all the time. Joe, who was George Frayne?
Oh, that name sounds familiar.
Stage name Commander Cody.
Okay, I know him as Commander Cody.
Well, he's passed on.
Oh, that's too bad. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
But his mates, the Lost Planet Airmen, with the horns and all the rest of that stuff.
Hot Rod Lincoln.
Yeah, well, that's that was a hit song for him too. But they did a lot of nice jazz and blues and some peppy music and the rest of that sort of thing, I'll tell you. So the Lost Planet Airmen have put together this little as a reunion called Salute to the Commander.
All right.
And they're going to be on the stage at Chance tonight at 8 o'clock and again tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Tickets are $25 in advance. So if you're going tomorrow night, get your tickets today. You know what I'm saying? Or $30 at the door. And you can always get some great food there, too. I mean, Fabulous Denise and I are already going to be there on Sunday night with Gary and his crew.
That's right.
Absolutely. Chance, place to go, 267
Main Street in Woonsocket. Joe?
All right, thanks, Dave. Normally we have Rich Lane from Post 85 on a Friday, but Rich couldn't make it this week, so Melissa's going to tell us
I'm
what's
gonna
going on
stand in
at
and-
Post 85.
yeah,
He does
I'll
not
let you
have the
know.
rooster hat on.
No,
I
she
don't
doesn't.
have the rooster
Or the
hat
big
on,
bushy
but,
mustache.
Can you say
no.
Can you say hoorah? A hooah.
No.
Can you say that?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh well.
I'm not a former Marine. All right, no, there's no such thing as a former Marine. Once
Yeah,
Marine, always
always
Marine,
Marine.
right? So at Post 85 this weekend, Radio Badland was supposed to play tonight, but that unfortunately had to be canceled, and I believe that one of the members is ill. However, tomorrow, July 22nd, it is NWWE Live Wrestling at the Post, Saturday, July 22nd. And doors open at 6.
Wrestling.
Wrestling, yes.
Something for everybody out there.
It's the Summer Sizzler, the new World Wrestling Extreme Summer Sizzler. So get your leotards ready.
At least you
Ready
didn't
to rumble.
say Speedo.
Whatever they
That's
are.
what Rich was saying.
Right. Doors open at 6:30. The bell time is 7:30.
No, not that.
Wrong bell.
Wrong bell. Tickets are $15 in advance, $20 at the door, and children 5 and under are free with an adult ticket purchase. And you can go to
That's free to get in.
NWW.
If you ever had kids, you realize they're not free.
No, they are
No.
not. That's free entry for the event. NWW Extreme, EXTREME.com for more information, or you can go to the Post
Post
85
tomorrow night.
Facebook page or their website, which is has all of their events listed. And then next week they will return from 7 to 11 p.m., which is July 28th already, next week. Runnin' Wild Band. Hopefully I did I'm not rich, but hopefully I did them some justice
In my
promoting their
much
events.
younger years, I was a big wrestling fan, but that
Yeah,
was like
same.
way back. As a matter of fact, I have a secret that probably is out by now. The Wild Samoans, I don't know if you remember them.
Yes.
I do.
They were not from the Isle of Samoa. They were from Allentown, Pennsylvania, and they were our friends. And I was like, why they keep saying you're from Samoa?
Because
Right,
it's
they
show-
originally-
You knew them
But
personally?
they, yeah, they were really good
Yes,
friends
that's so
with
cool.
my brother. You know,
Yep.
so we
So you
threw
know
my brother.
Alpha Sika.
Alpha and Sika.
I was also a wrestling enthusiast in my younger days. I've met a lot of wrestlers and gone to a lot of
shows.
shows. Yeah.
All right. Question I have
I
for
just
secrets
laughed at
anymore.
it. I just thought my
It's
first
always
exposure.
entertaining.
You're supposed to be
You're
laughing
supposed
at
to.
it.
It's
My
it's
first
entertainment.
my first exposure to professional wrestling, like they're talking about professional wrestling, it was on Channel 56 Saturday afternoons. They had nothing better to. They just ran these
Shows.
on UHF TV
Yeah.
stations that were terribly disregarded, and
gotta fill
and
an
you could
hour.
find them
Okay.
and it'd say, "Hey, freak show," and you just laugh.
All
They're
they did
very,
was
very
put up.
entertaining.
tell you, this guy's gonna eat my knuckles. And
Well, we're talking about the dignity bus with Valerie Gonzalez.
Oh,
The
we have to get
question-
dignified
yeah.
again, eh?
The question I have: Did they have any issues driving the bus from Florida up to Rhode Island?
No, not at all. And actually, one of the things about the bus, I know there was a lot of questions about we still have to pass the state inspection here.
Yeah.
But one of the requests from the Secretary Pryor's office was the NRVIA inspection, which is a lot more rigorous than our inspection. So they're expecting for the band
Right.
the bus to do well. There were some suggestive repairs when they had someone, I believe, from RIPTA that went over, looked at it, but it was things like the radiator. They quoted about $5,000 for it because there's a little bit of rust, but there's no leak, so you don't have to change it. So, and that's the new radiators. You could do like this, you know. So we might have a couple of things. It was oil change, transmission change, like those kind of things, but nothing major.
Kind of picayune stuff, huh?
Actually, they were really surprised that this bus that is very old, is a 1998 bus, had such low mileage. It was a really good find, and actually the people from the source tell us that our bus is even better than theirs. So
All right.
Alrighty then.
yeah.
The question is then, so they drive it up here. How are these people getting back to Florida?
they actually left at 3. From Pawtucket at 3:00 in the morning. Thank you to my wonderful hubby. We actually hosted them and drove them around, which was great. I wanted to have those conversations that don't normally happen and know as much as I could. And my husband woke up about 2:00 in the morning today and took them because they were leaving out of Hartford.
I see.
They were
Flying
leaving
back.
out of Hartford.
Yeah.
But starting in October, I believe there's a flight now. The Breeze is going to be flying to where they go. So
Oh, so
Vero
he
Beach.
took them to Pawtucket
that's
to
actually
get a bus
September,
to go
not
to.
no,
Hartford?
their Airbnb was in Pawtucket.
Oh, okay. So he picked them up and drove
Yeah.
them to Hartford.
Yeah, I was trying
To
to
fly.
convince them
Gotcha.
to just sleep on the Dignity bus, but we haven't.
Then they'd have to clean it again. And
No.
So so this is where basically there's 2 in Vero Beach and there's 1 here. So have you gotten calls from any other communities yet saying, "Hey, how's it working out? We're looking into this too."
Oh, I don't know if you saw, but on Facebook, there's a big announcement that as we were finishing up, there was a post from Chicago, Illinois, where they're putting, "We're next," and they're already
yeah.
they have already gone to Florida, looked at the buses and all that stuff. They actually saw our bus, and they're already in the process of moving that. And they've gotten calls from New York and different states that I think this is actually going to become something that is going to be very popular.
In Chicago, since there's so much more of a population there, are they looking to buy more than 1? Did they say?
I think they're doing probably what we're doing.
Okay, let's try it at once.
You
See how
know,
it goes.
let's do a pilot program.
Yep.
And see how it works, because it all sounds good, but the truth is, if you don't have the systems around it, it's not the bus. It's
Right.
not the bus, because then you can just have fleets of buses and still not solve the issue, and that's not what we want.
So Community Care Alliance is going to be basically running the bus.
Yeah, they're the providers of
Okay.
the bus.
Are
But-
they training the people to
So
provide
the
stuff?
Source has been such a great partner.
Mm-hmm.
They came, they did this training. They will be back before we get the
Oh, okay.
bus. And actually, I'm inviting them to speak on our community partnership task force. I want to get the city council and get them to, because they're so inspirational in what they're doing. I feel like I don't do it justice when I talk about it. By the way, they do all these things without any state funds. They go out and they have private entities, and what they did was, because they put their homeless to work and they started the food trucks and things, that they actually generate their own income. So they don't have to depend on the state or anybody else. The coordinated entry system doesn't have to tell them who's in, who's out. So they can be pretty firm about whatever rules and structures they have, in place. So it's been we're still learning a lot, and they're going to continue to partner with us the same way that we're going to continue to partner with Community Care Alliance. Because they're the providers, that doesn't mean we're going to go, hey, good luck. The
Yeah.
city's going to stay very much involved.
What about in Rhode Island? Are you getting any calls yet? I would say, like from Newport or Providence or Cranston, for them to take a look into.
I've
So they can
had-
do the same thing in their community.
I haven't gotten calls, but we've talked about. I'm actually part of something called the Rodell Institute, and you get different leaders from communities, whether they're mayors, city councilors, just from different places, and we've met. And during that, our first session, there was about 22 leaders from the community within New England, and we were able to talk to other communities about it, and everybody's just kind of like, okay, Woonsocket, we're watching
We're
you.
going to watch you and see how it goes.
Let's see what happens.
All right. So you're thinking it's going to go into operation sometime in the fall? Will this be closer to Labor Day, or are you talking like later in the fall? Tough to
I've
tell?
learned don't
it's
give
ready,
a time
it's ready.
frame.
Okay.
We're gonna because I believe the system is more important than anything else. We would do ourselves an injustice to start if we're not ready, because all eyes are on us.
Yeah.
And we want this to be a success. So it's better to have all our ducks in a row and everybody on the same page, and then we move forward.
All right. Well, very good. So if you want to see the Dignity Bus, it's down on South Main Street at Holy Family Church. You just go take a look at it.
Oh, by the way, there's cameras on the inside, outside.
For safety.
You know, yeah, and because you say there's a bus there, and then people go, you don't know who's going to show up and with what intentions. We just want to let you know it's being watched.
All right, very good. We've come to the end of the program here on the Coffee Ad program. Thanks for listening. Valerie Gonzalez, thanks for coming in.
Well, thank you
Always
for having me.
Always great to hear about the Dignity Bus, and hope it's a major success. And when it is up and running, we'll have you back so you can tell us it's up and running.
Yeah, wonderful. Or maybe we'll do a tour. We'll take you guys and do a tour of the bus. And
Dave, bring your camera.
Yeah, look at that.
All right, Melissa Murray, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
All right, and Dave, thanks for stopping by as well.
Thanks for having me, Joe.
All right, this is Joe Callahan. Have a great weekend, everyone. See you down at 11 a.m. tonight. Stay tuned for Gary Smith and the crew. Do You Remember is coming your way at 9:30 on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news. One